Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to have a go at creating a bucket hat, and we're going to do this together. I've never done this before, so I'm super excited about this project. So let's get right into this video. Grab a pair of jeans that you do not want and then cut up the side of the seams. And what you're going to do is make sure that you preserve as much material as possible, because we need every single part of the material. We don't want nothing to go to waste. Okay, so now that I've got this material, it's looking good, I'm going to go ahead and use this pattern that I found on the internet for free. So it's an LB pattern, and I'm going to link that down in the description box below, so you can go ahead and download it and you can also use it. So I'm going to start off by using the brim. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces of the brim. So start off by placing the brim on the fold of the fabric and cut 4 pieces. So you're not going to be able to cut the brim out from the same section, so it's a matter of playing around with the fabric and folding it to make sure you have enough space to actually cut out the brim. So just have a play around and see where it fits and then cut it out, but it needs to be cut on the fold, remember that. Alright, so if you have gotten this far into my video, go ahead and like this video and subscribe for more. I've got more videos coming like this, more DIYs. Come and join the family. So here I am fiddling with the fabric, kind of figuring out where I can cut it on the fold. So just have a go at that and then see what you actually achieve. Alright, I'm pinning my pattern pieces in place. Remember, try not to pin your fingers as I did, as usual. Grab your scissors and cut around the pattern. All right, there we go. So that's 2 pieces. So now I'm going to go ahead and try and get 2 more pieces out of this fabric. So by the way, this is one leg of the jeans that I'm using. So you can see me here playing around with actually getting space. So just laying out the pattern pieces and trying to fit it in such tight spaces to manage to actually cut the pattern on the fold. So do the best that you can. Okay, so at this point I was very excited because I managed to make it work. We have to make it work, guys. So make sure you're always checking the fabric below, so under the pattern, to make sure that there's actually material there. Okay, so I've got 4 pieces here, 4 pieces for the brim. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up the seam of the other leg. Alright, so go ahead, fold your fabric and place your top pattern on the folds of the fabric. So with this one, we don't need 4 pieces, we only need 1. So we're just going to cut on the fold just 1 piece for the top part of the hat. Okay, so once you've pinned your pattern in place, go ahead and cut around your pattern. Okay, so I'm moving on to the band. So for the band, we only need 2 pieces. So make sure you apply your pattern to the fold of the fabric and cut out 2 pieces for the band. So now this is what you should have at the moment. So we've got 2 patterns for the band, and then for the brim, you should have 4 pieces. If you don't, then you need to go back and do 4 pieces. And then you should have the top part of your hat, which is just 1 piece on the fold. Okay, so we've got all our pattern pieces. Now it's time to move on to something a bit more exciting. So now that I've got all my patterns, I'm going to go ahead, pull out my needles and start off with the band and the top part of the pattern. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm happy with the patterns that I have. I have all the pattern pieces. So in total, we should have 4 pieces for the brim, 1 piece for the top, and 2 pieces for the band. So I'm going to start off by attaching the top piece to the band. So starting with the band, I'm going to attach both side seams together and stitch them up. Oh yeah, also ensure that you place the right sides to right sides when you're stitching. Okay, now go ahead and jump on your sewing machine and stitch up the seams. So always make sure you're having your fabric right side touching right side. So I'm doing that now, and then I'm just going to pin the top part to the brim all the way around. Okay, here I'm just checking to see if it's making sense, and it actually is. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with the process. Okay, so the top is attached to the band. I'm loving it. It looks like it's making sense. So now go ahead and flip it out onto the right side just to make sure that it makes sense and you're actually on the right page. So I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to go ahead and stitch the seams up. Okay, so I'm finished. Now go ahead and turn your hat out onto the right side just to make sure that it looks good and everything is correct. So I'm happy with the way this looks. I'm going to snip away all the extra thread just hanging around. At this point, I was very excited. I could see that it was coming together and it was looking really good. And if I say so myself, I was actually proud. This is my first time, like I said before. Okay, look, we've got a little bucket hat, but it's not complete yet. So let's move on to the brim. So I'm going to start off with attaching the right sides to right sides. So you got one right side, and then I'm going to attach the other right side to it, and then pin it in place and then stitch along the seams. Okay, at this point you must be thinking, why is there 2 extra pieces of fabric just laying there? Trust me, we need it. So what I'm going to do now is lay both pieces down, right side to right side, and pin the seams in place and stitch both sides up. And once we've done that, we're going to attach them together and then bag it out. Okay, so we've got one piece. And then we're going to move on to the second piece of the brim. And just do the same. So pin both sides together and stitch along the seams. Alright, so once you have stitched up both sides of the seams for the brim, go ahead and press your seams flat open. Then attach the wider part of the circle of the brim together, right side to right side, pin them in place and then stitch all the way around as well. And then go ahead and flatten it out. Make sure it looks really good. Flatten it out and then press along around the brim so it sits nice and flat. And once you have done that, go ahead and attach the band to the brim, and then you can see that this part is very exciting. You can see that it's actually turning into a bucket hat and it's looking really good. When you're happy with how it looks, attach it in place by stitching the seams together. So make sure you stitch the brim with the band. So this part is just the logo from the back of the jeans. So you can go ahead and attach this. It gives it a unique look. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. So with this logo, I was going for like an unfinished sort of look. So I decided to kind of fray the edges of the logo to make it look kind of worn and have that kind of unique look. Alright, to finish off the bucket hat, we're gonna go ahead and do these stitches all around the bucket hat. So you probably have seen on bucket hats there's several stitches around the brim. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So the way I decided to do this is to line up my foot with the seam of the band and literally follow it around. So now we're gonna actually do several stitches. So the easiest way for you to do that is line up the outside foot of your machine on the stitch and just go ahead like that. This will allow you to have neat and accurate stitches all around the bucket hat. We don't want anything wonky. I know it's a DIY, but come on, we can make it look professional. So as you can see, it's looking really good. I'm very, very impressed with this. Alright guys, so that's the end of this video. If you liked it, give it a big fat thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and tune into my next video. See ya, bye.